welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the world of effective cleaning routines and schedules. A clean and organized home not only brings peace, but it also enhances our daily lives. In this short video, we'll explain how to set up a cleaning schedule that works for you, incorporating practical tips and a touch of reformed wisdom. So grab your notepad, get comfortable, and let's go on a journey to create a home that reflects both cleanliness and purpose. Before we begin, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so that we can stay connected with our journey of intentional homemaking. And let's get started. A cleaning schedule isn't just about scrubbing surfaces. It's really a tool for maintaining a welcoming and functional living space. And it's the basis. A good cleaning schedule is how you're going to stay on task. As Christians, we're called to be good stewards of our resources. And a lot of people don't think about their house as their main resource. And whether you own it or you rent it or you're in an apartment or you're sharing a space with someone, like your parents or a roommate, you're still called to be a good steward of that resource, that space. A clean home reflects a mind that values order and care. And I think that's really important. As we've touched before on this topic, our God is a God of order. He took chaos and creates order out of it. And I think that is just, there's something so profound in thinking about how God put us here and told us, have dominion, go create order. So I think that, one of the reasons that we like a tidy space and we like a clutter-free house is because that is built into us. In Colossians 3:23, we're reminded, whatever you do, work at it with all of your heart as working unto the Lord, not for human masters. Creating a cleaning schedule helps us approach our household tasks with diligence and intention. So the first step in setting up a cleaning schedule is to assess your home's unique needs. Just walk around your space, noting the areas that require regular attention and those that can probably be cleaned less frequently. I use an app called Tody. I've mentioned this before. The app is TODY, and it just helps me set up schedules for myself, cleaning routines, and then it sends me a little notification when something's due, and I just log into the app every morning and I look to see what I have on my schedule. And what's really great about this particular app, it's free, first of all. You can pay for a premium version of it, but the free version works just fine. And then second of all, it has sliders so that if, let's say, I have my curtains set to be washed twice a year in February and in August. Well, let's say February comes around and I'm looking at the curtains and I notice that they're not really that dirty. They don't need to be washed again. So I can move that slider back to maybe March. And then when March comes around, I'm looking at the curtains and I notice that they're not quite that dirty, so I can move that slider back again. And what that does is that helps me actually dial in how often I need to do those really big tasks that don't have to be done all that often. Like I have a long runner hallway rug that needs to be washed a couple times a year. But that's a big chore. Getting that whole thing set up, it doesn't fit in my wash machine, so I gotta go take it to get cleaned. And that's such a big chore, and it's not something that I'm constantly thinking about, but if it's there in my yearly schedule set up on that app, then I don't have to think about it. And this is something that I think that I take for granted. Life became easier when some of these tasks were put on autopilot. They weren't taking up any space in my mental memory bank any longer. They were put down somewhere where they were being tracked for me, and I didn't have to keep track of them. So I just think that using some sort of app like that, even a paper schedule, is just really, really helpful in getting you on schedule and helping you stay on task, and also help it free up a bunch of mental space that otherwise might be being used up by tasks that are menial and you don't really need to keep them on your mind. Once you've taken that tour of your space and you've noted the areas that require attention, just start filling in the blanks. Remember, a cleaning schedule should be tailored to your lifestyle. Whether you have a huge family or you live on your own, find a rhythm that suits your particular situation. So let's break down some tasks into different categories: daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. Daily tasks are those that maintain your home's basic cleanliness and order. And these are the tasks that you would have to do whether you lived by yourself or whether you lived with a whole group of people and a flock of children, right? So a lot of times I hear housewives complain how they don't make the mess, but they still have to clean it up. And yes, there is some truth to that, but the truth behind that truth is that you would have to clean that space whether it was just you or whether it was you and all of your children and your husband and your extended family and guests that you're having over for hospitality. Like, you will consistently have to clean your space because your space has to be cleaned. Life just happens like that. So try not to get bitter about having to clean because it's just something that you have to do as a person. Examples would be daily tasks are those that just maintain your home's basic cleanliness and order. And examples would include making the beds, doing the dishes, and just general tidying. Weekly tasks delve a bit deeper, and those are things that don't need to be done daily, but they need to be done more than once a month. Those would be things like vacuuming, mopping, wiping down surfaces, wiping down the stove top, cleaning out the fridge. And monthly tasks are more comprehensive, such as deep cleaning the freezer, dusting the vents in your bathrooms or other high surfaces, and decluttering. With your tasks categorized, it's time to start creating a cleaning routine. Assign specific tasks to different days based on their frequency and your schedule. See why I keep harping on how important a schedule is. I know that Mondays, no cleaning is getting done in my house. We are too busy on Mondays with our homeschool co-op and with my book club. Just no cleaning other than the RoboVac going is going to get done. So I don't assign any tasks for Monday because it would be silly. It would just make me feel overwhelmed. Remember that flexibility is key and life can be unpredictable. So don't be afraid to just adjust your routine as you go. As a Reformed Christian, I recognize the value of rest and reflection. So I build moments of rest into my day. And this includes moments of rest in the cleaning schedule. This just allows me to recharge physically and spiritually. I use this time to thank God for the ability to care for my home and to think about the many blessings that God has given me. I think it's so important when you get out of the mundane tasks, when you're doing the dishes and you're washing the diapers and you're doing all the things, right? You're maintaining other people's schedules, you're preparing the meal plan. All the things you do as a homemaker, a wife, a mother can seem mundane when they're taken piece by piece. But when you put them all together, what you really get is this beautiful picture of an amazing blessing that God has given to you. And sometimes your blessings can be pretty overwhelming, right? If you're in a season of life where you have a bunch of little children, those little blessings that God has given you can feel like little curses. But you need to make sure that you are not treating your blessings as curses, and that you're also not treating your curses as blessings. These are some things that just take time in sorting through. As you continue going through your home and writing down the areas that need attention, take special note of the areas that desperately need attention and that you really do not want to give. Let's just say that your baseboards, like my baseboards, do not get the proper cleaning that they should be getting. These might be tasks that you can assign to your children, and you can decide whether or not you would like to pay them for it. There are certain tasks that my son is required to do because it is just part of living under our house, under our roof. And then there are certain more in-depth tasks that we will pay him to do. So mowing the lawn, for example, will pay him to do that, or washing the car. Big tasks, and I set parameters for him so that he knows this is what a paid job looks like when it's done. And this is just part of child training, so you can do this from a pretty young age. I think we had our son start using a push mower when he was about 9, and with supervision and getting paid for that type of job. So I think the pay also needs to be commiserate with the amount of work that's put in. So I'm not going to pay him $20 to do the baseboards, because I wouldn't pay myself. I don't pay myself $20 to do the baseboards, right? So just keep in mind that if you walk around your house and you have what seems like an overwhelming amount of tasks to complete before the house is clean, that's probably twofold. There's probably two things happening. One, you probably have too many things and you need to consider downsizing or decluttering. That's probably the vast majority of people. The second thing that's probably happening is that you have too many tasks and you're not delegating well. So if you have a very cluttered house or a very dirty house, don't be ashamed. This happens. People get into rough seasons in life. Just recognize it, acknowledge it, repent of it, and then move on from it. So that means doing better going forward. That means assigning tasks to the bodies in your house that help make the mess. And that means that you also have to be diligent as unto the Lord in this housekeeping routine that you're going to be setting up. So I hope that you found this video helpful. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Give me a like and subscribe. And if you think that this would be helpful for anyone that you know, go ahead and share the video. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye.